Okay, guys, welcome to episode 10. 10?
Ooh,
10, 10?
Double figures.
double figures.
It's a big milestone for us. We always thought it would get there, but we know that we're there. Feels special. So my name is Lewis Walters, and we've got Mr. Harry Jones, and we've got Mr. Lewis Ross. How are we, guys?
All good, actually.
Good man.
I am so excited for the Premier League back.
Do you not enjoy the international break?
You know what? I do. But I like the consistency of the Premier League. If the internationals were like a tournament, which I love because you get all those games in a short space of time, it's great. And I was hearing on the radio, actually, it would be good if they could do something like that where all the internationals are done, take a month out and they just get all the qualifying done like a mini tournament. That would be good.
It doesn't break up the league then, does it?
Yeah, exactly. And then
But
the
I
league
did
just
really
want to
enjoy this international break more than the previous one because I think obviously the performance against Italy was a lot better. I'm not going to think about the Australia game because that was shocking.
Well, a friendly game is a friendly game. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Wasn't even real. I don't think it even happened. Whatever.
I reckon.
Yeah, I thought Kane's goal was fire.
That game, we just stepped up a level. We've done that a couple of times, but I know we need to do it in tournaments. But I'm telling you now, Jude Bellingham is that guy.
That's different gravy, isn't it?
I don't understand. He's because the way he plays naturally is quality. So him having a bad game probably rarely will happen because just the way he runs, the way he passes the ball, the way he just thinks. Too much, man.
Yeah. Imagine him when he's 25. Jesus.
That's half a decade away, and he's going to be around forever. He's going to be. It's mad.
His ceiling's high, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's ridiculous.
I think it's going to cause you a problem. It's going to cause him a problem for England now because you've got to play him at cam.
Yeah.
You can't be playing him deep lying in midfield like he's been doing before. You've got to put him at cam.
Yeah,
he's just doing the business. He's just doing the business.
I do like the way that he's managing because you can't keep that pace that we want England to play all the time because it would just burn us out. But we have got 5 subs, so I know Southgate needs to get better at his subs in major games because I don't think he does. He uses our bench that well, but it depends who we end up with in the summer because we don't know who's going to get injured and stuff. But it's going to be very interesting with Jude.
I think the key players to keep fully fit for England is
Saka.
I was about to say, I think John Stones, Saka, and Bellingham. I think they're the 3 key players for England. Obviously, your main defender, your main midfielder, and then your main winger. I think.
Okay.
I think I'll bet to say Kane. I think if Kane did get injured, I think we still could cope without him.
Yeah.
I don't get why he ain't doing like Stones and Tomori. Like, let's just pick them 2 and just go with it.
Yeah, but I said something about Tomori, and if you look at him when he's played against like English clubs in the Champions League, he's been terrible. He's got like red cards against when he played against Chelsea. He's not really performed. I mean, someone compared him and said, "Look at Chris Smalling. He's playing well in Italy. So, is he actually good, or is the league just lower standard than the Premier League?"
I heard his voice for the first time the other day. I did not think he sounded like that. He was like really squeaky.
I think
this guy on the agenda.
I think to be a proven centre back for England, you've got to be consistently playing at the highest level and performing in the big games like in the Champions League and stuff. And from what I've seen prior to Milan, I just don't think he's performed at the highest level.
No, but everyone's moaning about Maguire, but he actually plays better internationally than the people playing consistently in the Premier League.
Play better for the national team than the club team. I think you're not being at United, though. It's a toxic club at the minute, so it's a hard team to play against. Anyway, I think if you went to West Ham in the summer, everyone would be speaking totally different about Maguire, and you've probably been having one of his best seasons at the minute.
Well, it's because they suit the way he plays. I think England's a little bit deeper than Man United play. I think West Ham are on the goal line half the time, so it would suit him to play that far back. That's why he was so stick at Leicester, because he was just They just play a deep line, and he can read the game. He hasn't got to run back. That's his issue. As soon as he's got to turn round, you can hear him creaking, flipping out.
Well, for England, they play from the back, and he doesn't give away passes. He doesn't make those mistakes, does he? He plays quite well. So
big head as well. Anyway, so the first thing that I wanted to discuss, and there hasn't been any talk about it recently, but I just think it's a very interesting topic to discuss, and that is the Super League. Because, in my opinion, I'm not probably against the Super League. I'm against the Super League that they try to bring out and their intentions with it. But I would love to see something like that, even just for a season, like a one-off, would be sick. And I think the thing that I just want to discuss is kind of who do you think would be winning that Super League? Who do you think would be in it? And who do you think would be top 4 consistently if we went hypothetical land in a multiverse and we ended up having a Super League instead of a Premier League?
Instead of a Premier League?
Yeah, instead of a Premier League. So there'd be no Premier League. So you'd have a Super League, and then you'd probably have a Champions League alongside it. So that would be your cup.
Well,
I
was about to say this. Isn't that already happening? Isn't the Champions League the Super League? Because all the top clubs from around Europe are playing the Champions League, so they're already playing against each other.
But this is a league, isn't it? There's sometimes in the Champions League, you'll have some teams that never play anybody. These teams will be playing everybody. So
okay. Okay. In the Super League, then, if you get like the ones that were going with like 6 of them, right? So like 6 from the Premier League.
Well, it was 6 from the Premier League. It
2
was
from Spain. 3 from Spain.
No, it was 2, but Atletico didn't get in.
Okay, and then
it was Juventus and
Milan, wasn't it? In AC.
Yeah.
And Bayern.
PSG, Bayern. No, PSG didn't go in, did they? Or Bayern?
Yeah.
So
they were against it.
What happens to the rest of the Premier League? What happens to the rest? Are they the Championship now, and then they strive to get into the Super League? I don't understand how that works.
I think the way that they were going to do it is that these teams would do the Premier. Look, the way their promise was that they would get rid of the Champions League, so the Super League would be kind of like their mini league that they would have, and then you'd still have the Premier League. I think with this sort of format, I'm just saying let's scrap all the leagues. We have one league. It's got the same amount of teams as the Premier League in, and you decide who you think deserves to be in there, and then who you think would be the most successful team in the Super League. Because I don't think it's as clinical.
The problem at our point is that football changes. So obviously their Super League went off money basically. Whoever had the money to get in was in, because the class Spurs to get in. I mean, funny that they didn't win a league title. What is it, since '61?
Bringing a dust in there was.
So I don't know. They getting obviously money, but football changes financially. So the likes of Spurs, if they did get in, but Daniel Levy went bankrupt, how does that? How do they stay in? Do they go out? What happens then?
Well, I think what we do
work.
I think we're just look. I don't want to try and overcomplicate it. I think we're just picking who we. So you're going to pick your main teams that are going to go in there. So the obvious ones are always going to be there, aren't they? So you're going to. So from Premier League, you can go Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then Liverpool would probably be your main 4 that would go into it. And
Liverpool
then
twice. All right.
Liverpool twice. I thought I said Liverpool twice. I was going to try to get away with it. And then you go to the Italian league, you're going to take Inter Milan, AC Milan.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe Juventus. And then
you know what's happening.
You
know what's happening like in Saudi? Do any of them teams get in? Because obviously they're signing big players, aren't they?
No, this is nothing to do with money. This is literally
just a hypothetical.
The best teams
from
across
the best
Europe,
teams just go in there, and it's probably just going off current form. So you could even chuck yourself a Villa in there. Like they might be in kind of at the bottom game. So you talk about no, because like that's a compliment, really.
I reckon so. If it's like the Premier League, but with all the teams around Europe, and there's home and away games, I genuinely think that I'm going to go with Real Madrid.
Really?
Because I think the Spanish teams, when I remember Champions League games, I think teams like Real Madrid travel a lot better home and like away than like a Premier League team would. I always find that when the Premier League team goes away, it's always an effort to go to the Bernabeu to win a game, and they'll be lucky enough to get away with a point. You don't really get that feeling when Real Madrid play an England team at home, do they? They always are up for it, and I actually reckon more often than not in history that they probably get that result based on how they've done in the Champions League and against British teams. So I actually think, because obviously you have to think that Premier Leagues have to travel, teams have to travel to those places to play away. They can't just all play in this country. I reckon our home form maybe, but I just think that Real Madrid would be the team to be on top, I reckon.
Imagine how taxing it will be for the players, because you're not playing. Like some weeks you might go, oh, I'm going to play Luton this week, so you can take it easy because you know you're going to win that game. Every game is crucial.
Yeah.
Every game is tough. Like if you're Arsenal, one week you're playing PSG, the next week you're playing Real Madrid, the week after that you're playing Liverpool, the week after that you're playing Inter Milan. Like
it'd be it'd be hard to plan logistically as well, because what we were saying, there'll be more probably Premier League teams in there. So logistically, I suppose they'll be lucky, but it depends on your runnings. I think that will be really important. If you've got like 3 away games and one's in France, Germany, and then Spain, then you're screwed really. But I do think now, just from what I've seen, not just from this season, but just in history, I think whenever I see Real Madrid playing an English team, they're always favourites, even when they weren't playing well. But they can be jammy, but they do get
that one season
results more often than that. Yeah, was it 2 seasons ago when I don't know how they managed to win.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
they beat us in the final, didn't they? Was it 1-0?
Yeah,
they every game in the
Chelsea as well.
knockouts was just lucky. Every game was, I say lucky, but saying that they scored
That was
3.
luck.
Yeah, well, they scored. Didn't they score 3 against Man City? Was that not? They came back in that game, right? Or they came back
The
in
City game that was decent, but if you look at the Chelsea game, look,
the Chelsea game in particular,
the most
so lucky. Yeah, unimaginable luck. But yeah, I think because that put the points tally for winning that league, well, I don't think it'd be high. I don't think someone's walking away with 80 points, in a Super League. I think you're talking maybe high 60s, low 70s.
But it'd be interesting to see what teams are humbled when it comes to playing in that league. For example, there's teams in the Premier League that, because the quality, even though I still think it's strong, it still dips a bit. So they have, like Man U, for example. If Man U were in that Super League, I think they'll get humbled because the quality position across the league. Well, they would, but I reckon they would finish lower than they are doing at the moment in the Premier League, due to the fact that they don't have that chance to beat the teams like Luton and Sheffield United, because that quality already will be higher, a lot higher. That's what I'm thinking of. How about you, Rossi?
Well, annoying for the viewers. I agree with you, because obviously it'd been awesome me to pick a different team, but I just think Real Madrid. I think obviously just seeing them off the Champions League. I mean, how many Champions Leagues have they won? And obviously they're playing bigger teams, and when you get past like the group stages, that's where you sort of see who's gonna go where and whatever. But yeah, Real Madrid over the years, they've just sort of been consistent with it. Even if they're not winning it, they're getting close enough. And the only other team I'd probably say is Man City, because I know Man City are playing a high quality now, but I think if the competition was tougher, I think they would up the game. And I think because I'm going to manage a lot Pep with the tactics and that, he could up his game even more. And I think obviously his tactics are better than probably anybody else's. So I'd think he could up Man City's game even more and probably overtake Real Madrid then.
It would be very interesting. Only because
I think it depends. Like, say if it ever did happen, I think it all depends on who's manager at what club and stuff, because that will have a big impact. Like,
yeah, you're right, because managing, I just thought about managing a league team is different from managing a cup competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because knockout games, you need to deal with them in a different way. So me saying Real Madrid was based on the fact that in the knockouts they seem to not lose. They have a way of winning those games. So it may be different in the league, because in the previous leagues they've struggled. They can't manage both, can they? Especially, did they win the league last season?
No, Barcelona.
No,
And that's-
Barcelona, isn't it?
And that's a Barcelona going through stuff like
Yeah,
losing Messi just knocked them off, and they're coming back up, and
and they've got no money.
Real Madrid couldn't capitalise on
Oh,
that,
no.
and that was in the league. And there's a definite drop in quality in that league after.
Yeah, so you
after
can
sixth.
probably say because of the competition's not as strong in Spain that they've won the leagues when they have because of that, and they're like a tournament team. So against the big teams in
maybe.
tournaments, they do perform. But obviously, throughout
No,
the
con-
season,
no,
playing against them teams consistently, they probably wouldn't be as good.
That's what I think as well. I think there's no consistency to them,
Mm.
and I think I always thought it was a weird team as well because they were bringing in these young players, but yet you were still playing Modric and Kroos, but yet you had like Camavinga and you had what's the one's name? Too many.
Yeah.
And then I would have thought by now, then that would have been their midfield. It would have been them two and Bellingham. And even to me, that sounds like an exciting midfield, but yet they still rely on Modric and Kroos.
I
And
know,
you just thought,
but
that's mad.
I know, but the quality of Modric, he reminds me of there's always players like him. Do you remember when like Nedved and Pirlo and all those
Yeah.
ones like retired? They were pushing on the late stages of their careers, but you still could rely on them to
Still performed at the highest
still
level.
performed. Yeah,
Of course,
and
they're unbelievable players.
I get what you're saying. Bringing in players, like young players, for a lot of money as well. It's frustrating, like not to see him play, but at the same time, for players like Toni Kroos and Modric performing at a top level for more than 10 years, it's hard to leave them out, especially when they're still performing at what there was 5 years ago.
You know that front line is average compared to what they had, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
who's the striker? What's the striker's name?
Is it Joselu? You used to play for Newcastle.
So you've got Joselu, Rodrigo, and what's
Gino.
his name? Vinny Jr.
yeah,
And you compare that
Vinicius.
to Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale.
Yeah.
It's a no
It doesn't.
brainer, isn't it?
No,
Well-
but proof's in the pudding. We have to wait a few because they're young,
Yeah.
aren't they? So we have to wait
And
a
I
few
think
years.
Vinny
see
as
what they
well
get.
upped his game a lot over last season,
He's become he's very impressive, yeah. But I still think that Hossa lose. Sorry, I'm gonna go.
That is mad. That is awful.
Yeah.
No, but it's I think we're finding a lot, and I know that happens in the Spanish league. They just seemingly take Premier League rejects and they find themselves in Spain playing really well. But that also transfers backwards as well. You have like, the players in the Champions League are playing Premier League teams and they're just performing above their level that they didn't do in the Premier League. And I think it goes to show. I always forget that some players just are homesick and they don't like playing in this country and they find it hard. And there's
Like
an assumption.
Morata.
Yeah.
He's a perfect example, I think.
Yeah, he is. And
He's
tough,
crap.
isn't it?
I don't think. I'm not having him. He's awful. He's got Chip on Moting's better than him.
That's harsh.
Nah.
Morata is performing at the minute. You can't knock it at the minute.
Is he the highest scorer for Spain?
Yeah.
In something. His highest score for Spain, isn't he?
How many times they should have won a competition if they had a proper striker and them sitting there Morata? It's like
Spain.
Spain had a Harry Kane. They would have been winning. They would have won the was it the Euros, the World Cup? They were battering teams, but Morata just couldn't put it in the back of the net. And then the switch, I can't remember who the striker was. The switch to he couldn't score either. What's his name? Gerard Moreno. He couldn't score either. They're just he's just not clinical enough. He reminds me a bit of like Martinez. Martinez at stage where he looks fantastic, and then if Argentina, awful. Messi was like putting it on a play for him. He's just like, I'm giving up here. I can't deal with this lad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but
I feel him.
I just think he's doing it for where he is at the moment. He's obviously he needs that environment around him to perform, and he is performing, isn't he? You can't really deny that due to his numbers. But I know what you mean about his start. He just personally, I think he looks average, but he's got something about him that seems to, especially in Spain and where he is, seems to be getting the goals. And that's if you build a team around someone, especially a forward attacking line, then you're gonna get the most out of them. So maybe the Wolves over my eyes because the team's based around his style and how he plays, which ultimately will end in more goals for him, really. But I like him.
The thing with
I do like him.
Morata is he's a boring striker, and he's like a bit of an old-fashioned number 9.
Yeah.
So when we say
not
he's
sexy.
crap, he's not actually crap. He's just boring. So, but
Yeah.
he's got the striker's mentality. So he does get goals. He gets in the right positions and stuff. But he's just boring to watch.
Interestingly,
He's
I always thought Kane was boring.
Yeah,
I did because it just but he backs it up with the fact that he can get 20 goals a season as a minimum. That's what he does. He's clinical, and he's actually
as well.
and he's got better. Like at first, he was that striker that was getting 20, but when he realised he can drop deep and pass the ball, he rarely, like, his assists and his, like, the passes he makes through from the midfield they're rarely astray. Like, they're proper. He understands what he's doing, like, more than most. But I know he gets a lot of credit for that. But at the beginning, I always thought he was quite a boring striker because
at the beginning he was getting.
I liked a bit of flair.
Yeah.
But I like flair. Like I'd step over, and he would never do a step over. He's just that type of player.
For me, he's better than Lewandowski. I reckon by the end of the season for Bayern Munich, I reckon he's gonna smash a goal tally, and he's going to prove that he's better than Lewandowski. I really think I think he's got more to his game, and I think he's just as good as a finisher. I really do. Go on then. Okay, top 4 for the Super League. Hit me with it, boys.
Do you want to go, Herod, or do you want me to go?
No, you go.
I know I said about Real Madrid, but after having that conversation about them doing well in a league with more competition, I'm going to change my mind. So I think first will be City, because I think obviously they're playing in the most competitive league in the world, and over the last 10 years onwards, they've been obviously the most dominant one, and that's not easy to do in the Premier League. Second, it's tough, you know. I probably would go for Real Madrid then. I just think going to the Bernabeu would be hard for teams, and also I think they'll just be more dominant at home. But I'm not saying not come being biased, but I could say that about Liverpool because playing at Anfield, it's tough. So struggling, you know, struggling. So I'm okay. City first, second Real Madrid, Liverpool third.
Boo. They haven't mentioned Liverpool for any of this. Bring them at the
end. Fourth. Who's your fourth?
Probably go Arsenal, you know.
Ooh.
I just think that they're a lot better than any of the teams in the Italian league.
Yeah, but
I think Bayern Munich look so good because they've got no competition. But I think once they come against proper competition consistently, I don't think they're able to keep up the level they are playing at now, which everybody thinks is amazing, but I think it's just their competition's nowhere near as good as any other league, really. And I think I'll leave PSG at that category as well for the same thing. The French leagues just dropped out of the top 5 leagues in Europe. The Eredivisie took over Eredivisie, the Dutch league. And if that's taken over with Ajax playing so poor, it just shows how poor the French league is.
Okay, that's interesting. My top 4, not in a particular order, would be City, Real Madrid, Bayern, and City, Real Madrid, Bayern.
I don't believe in the Bayern theory, I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to explain why I think in a moment, but yeah,
it's tough, ain't it? It's tough when you actually start thinking about it.
Maybe Barca. I don't know.
Barca.
Yeah, I don't.
Who do you want?
I think that. I don't know. I know Barca are.
You're trying to be different. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. What about Galatasaray?
No, I think I don't.
Frankfurt,
accurate team.
I'm only
Villa.
going by recent history, but 'cause
Dortmund.
I haven't seen Arsenal in there for too long against those top teams.
RB Leipzig. Shitty
So
teams.
Bayern have, you can't deny their domestic pedigree. I know you're saying the league is lower than low, but it's still still in the top 3, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, because how is it not going to be like in the top? Because once you look past the Premier League, Spanish league, just the competition dies down sort of.
Well, that's opinion, but they're still
Obviously.
the top 3, and also Bayern in the Champions League are consistently quite far up in the knockouts, regardless of who they're playing. They all seem to get through the group stage. They don't ever. I can't remember last time they dropped into the Europa League stages because they finished 3rd in a group. I don't know if that's happened recently. So I just think they're stronger than you may give them credit for. So I think they know how to win domestically. They have done. They don't do anything else. That probably is to say that the league is rubbish, but also there's something in that. I wouldn't do the same thing about any Scottish teams. But I really don't know in my 4. I don't know what a 4th.
You can't leave it as TBD.
Yeah, he went Barcelona. He did. He went Man City.
Yeah, I did say Barca. Yeah, I did say Barca only because I like the way they're playing at the moment.
I honestly think Atletico Madrid would have a better chance than Barcelona finishing top 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I've never liked that.
Because Barca are still trying to find themselves.
Yeah, but they're finding themselves winning the league last season and doing well this season. And that's them finding themselves. So, yeah, I'll get they're going through a transition. I've seen bits and pieces of them. I just like them more than those teams. Obviously, this is a massive hypothetical, but that's how I see it.
So do mine.
Yeah, go on.
So mine in order, I would go Man City, then I would go Bayern Munich, then I would go Arsenal, and then I would go Real Madrid. I just don't feel Real Madrid are ever consistent. They're consistent in the Champions League, but they're not consistent in their own league. So I think when it comes to a league, I think they'd struggle. I think Arsenal are quite similar to Man City. So I think they would hold a lot of possession over most teams. So I know hopefully I'll be proven right in the Champions League. Bayern Munich, I just look at the players. I just look at that midfield for me is unreal. You got Kimmich, you got Goretzka, and you've got what's the young guy's name?
Musiala. He's. I wish he was playing for England. Yeah, he's quality.
He's quality. And then you got Harry Kane, you got Sadio Mane, you got Gnabry, you've got
Mane.
Yeah, but Mane's gone now, isn't he?
Did I say Mane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gnabry.
Oh, you talk about.
I said Sane. I said Sane. I didn't say Mane.
Oh, sorry.
I said Sane. Yeah, and then you got Gnabry, you got Kane, and you got Alphonso Davies. He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and I know the centre backs are big names, but they're not performing. I don't feel. Keeper's a bit like without Neuer, they're a bit thingy. But if you got Neuer in goal, he's class. So I think player for player, I just think they're great. So
got a good squad.
That's who I'd probably go for because I just think they're too real.
Well, we just need to set up. We should need to set up a tournament on FIFA and just let the computers play.
I feel
each other over like
that
38 games.
Liverpool in the top 4 because
they would be 5th, mate. They'd be close.
Liverpool now it's win against big teams. Liverpool, Liverpool are better at winning against big teams than Arsenal are as well.
You tell me what big teams you're going to beat this season.
we beat Man City last season when we had one of our poorest seasons in the last 7 years.
I still stand by.
We know it's play against big teams. We catch teams out. They can't handle the pressure.
But that it seems very different now.
I can't see it, but I reckon it'll be. Don't get me wrong, massive hypothetical. I think it'll be close. You are right. You have got that pedigree in Europe to win those games and stuff like that. But I don't mind.
Champions League, we've won it. Won the Premier League. You've done neither.
Yeah, but Yeah, but you both have put your teams that you support in there. I could have put Villa, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna, am I? Because I'm not gonna. But
I said
can't see it.
Arsenal because I think the
Yeah.
improvements they've made, and even to
Yeah.
start this season, even like the Man City game, the difference between the playing Man City this season to last season is massive. Because last season they tried to play like City, didn't work. Those got outdone. De Bruyne balls over to Haaland. Defenders was in no man's land. There's 2 easy goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they got caught out. Game plan didn't work. Couldn't get back into the games. Whatever. This time, Arteta obviously studied the mistakes they made in the last season games, and then he put it right. You didn't even have your full solid starting 11, and instead of playing what's that midfielder?
Partey?
No, your midfielder. You didn't. Anyway, you played Jorginho as like the holding player because you was trying to like more control in midfield rather than just getting full ball attack like how City would play. And I just think that you control the game a lot better. And I think if Arsenal could do that against City, and I think you'll be doing it a lot better like against other teams. Obviously, not as good as City likes of like. I mean, like Barcelona, I don't see them get anywhere near that top 4. I think they'll be lucky to finish like top 6 or 7.
That's how I feel about your club. That's how I feel. Ooh. That's just how I feel in this hypothetical. I've seen, especially in recent seasons, I've just seen that run you went on last season. It's for me, it's kind of
but people say recent seasons. I mean, recent season. We've had 1 season.
I know, but the run was bad. Like you are a fan and you want.
And we still managed to finish 5th.
I know because you went on a great run, but you also went on a bad run. And I remember that bad run because you were playing. I didn't understand what was going on, and I haven't seen that side of you. So, like with Tottenham, that's why it's hard to see them staying in the league because we've seen them bad. I can't see them. I've got no recent history, which is about a season long, that I can think actually I have a feeling they're going to keep on going on and winning. They haven't done that. So, proof's in the pudding. This season.
I just think if you look at Liverpool, other than last season, we've been the most competitive team to Man City in the whole league for the last 7 years.
Yeah, you have.
But you haven't been that consistent now. It's like 1 year on, 1 year off, and I think
we've had the 7 seasons. We've had 2 bad seasons.
Yeah, but you've had those bad 6 seasons. Yeah. As a fan, as you being a fan of that club, like Villa, I don't trust us getting anywhere because we haven't seen it. Yeah. Like you've seen it, you've been there, you've gone there, but I've also seen you having a bad run, and I'm kind of expecting that to happen again. And then that's why it's going to be proofs in the pudding. You've got to prove, or people like me, as your club, you need to prove me wrong because that happens. Fine, you can turn to me at the end of the season and say, "See," but that's seeing the future. I'm just going to say what I know based on history in the last year and a half in terms of games, all the stuff. And I keep saying this now. Like I think you're the same points as Villa in the terms of this calendar year. Like you still haven't, because you had that bad one, it still hasn't it's still not in effect yet, is it really? But again, the push in the pudding, which is why I love this season, because at the moment I can see it being any one from 7 trying to get there and be there at the top. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's in regards to Liverpool. Like I say, I'm not slating or anything like that. When I say, because you won the league, and then the season after you were shocking, and then
but we had loads of injuries. I'm not making excuses because I'm not wrong to make excuses. When we play shit, I'll let you know. But we had Henderson at centre back for most of the season. We had a player from Stockport playing centre back for most of the season. So to finish 4th with that terrible team, I'll take that.
Yeah, but that's then, what I mean. Like there's an issue with the squad then, wasn't it? And that hurts you. That's why you don't know. But so
that could be any. That could be any team though.
That exactly.
Yeah, it's still squad. It's still squad depth. I think. Like I love Klopp. I think Klopp.
Yeah, but our squad depth's got better since then.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But he tends to do this thing where he does burn teams out.
Yeah.
And I think what he does with Liverpool is he pushes them to their absolute maximum, and they get high fingers. So like I say, you won the league. Year after, loads of injuries. That could be because you burnt you out the season before, and then the next season you then recover. You then go like that was a 94-point season, and then the season after, because you push to your limits again, you then struggle again. And it's that he's not kind of learning from those mistakes. We're going, Because he's always constantly moaning. Same with Arteta, same with going, oh man, there's players' welfare needs to be looked at. And you look at it and you go, you make one sub a game, we make 2 subs a game. You've got 5 players to sub in, you're moaning about player welfare, and you're not doing it. And then when players get injured, he hasn't really got an excuse. He's always got an excuse, but your reasons aren't there. So the reason why I put Liverpool in that top 4 is probably just because of that reason. And your midfield's completely different, and I just feel like midfields are a big thingy. So it's just this, but this, if Liverpool are going to be the way that they are, this is the good season you'll have, because last season was bad. So I expect you to do well this season. I expect you to be
personally,
top 3.
I actually don't mind that if we have a good season, a bad season, because within 5 years of 5 seasons, we've got a chance to win the league 3 times. If you look at it like that.
Yeah. And also, you're not in my top 4 in this hypothetical. That's literally on a thing that is across Europe, and it will obviously be close, but that's just the 4 teams that's sticking to my head anyway.
And I think as well, on our Champions League and this Super League is totally different, but obviously Liverpool are the most successful team in European competitions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think what's
if I'm the English speaker, comment not obviously.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think what's done is that, like I'm saying at the moment, Arsenal are currently better than Liverpool, but we go back to the start of last season. You would never even put Arsenal in Liverpool's category, because we were nowhere near that. We're finishing 8th, we're finishing 5th, and then we go and nearly win the league, and then it looks like we just completely turned a corner. So I'm only saying that currently, for you, like Arsenal could go fall off the cliff now for the rest of the season, but it looks like we turned a corner. So I think it's just Liverpool could do exactly the same. You could go on a massive run. You could look fantastic. Same with Spurs. We're all saying Spurs want to make it. They're doing exactly the same thing we did last season. They could be told challenges this season. You don't know, do you? So that's
the thing about football, ain't it? It's all ifs, buts, and maybes, because it's literally how you perform on the day, who's available, and if your luck's in. Because if you got luck against you, the game's going to go against you. You can play really well, but you can hit the post 6 times.
Yeah.
The only other present is Man City. Man City are the only team that can ever say we are the true title challengers. Everyone else around them is saying we're pretenders, because that's what everyone else is. So let's move on, because we could be all talking about it all day. I have got a little game for you two to play.
The
only thing is, I need a timer. Has anyone got a timer on them? Keris, can you do a timer?
Yeah, I can do a timer on the phone.
So I've kind of stole this off a different area. So like another thing off YouTube. So what you're going to do is I'm going to pick a subject, and I want one of you, either of you, to then shout out how many you could name, and then the other person will then challenge that person and rather go more or then say prove it.
So basically, you want to play lies.
Is that what it is?
That's what the game's called.
Okay. I was just going to call it prove it, because I'm technically borrowing it. So the first subject that we're going to start with is the Premier League.
Okay. How many minutes am I putting on this timer?
You get 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I'll put a stopwatch on.
I want one of you to shout out how many teams that you think you could name in 30 seconds.
Okay. Oh. How many
how many Premier League teams you could name in this current season? How many teams do you think you could name that are currently in the Premier League? In 30 seconds. You say 20. I swear he's going to get 20 then. Did you name all 20 in 30 seconds?
I'm going to actually ask you to choose a different one, because I've literally got the list of all the teams playing this week in front of me.
Just cover it
like that.
No, I could just be like Liverpool, Everton, Bournemouth, Wolves, Brentford. I can literally reel them off.
Just cover
We'll do a different one. Okay. I'll do it based on teams then, and we'll focus on. Okay, how many Arsenal players do you think you could name in 30 seconds?
Oh, current Arsenal players.
Current Arsenal team.
Everything's got to be current.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm rubbish with names, so.
Lewis, by the way, nice to meet you.
Yeah, no, so I'm just gonna make it easy for us. So I'm gonna say I can name 6.
6. Ooh.
Okay.
No. You can then
No,
re-challenge
you've got to
it.
you've got to say a number
you-
higher, or you've got to say prove it.
prove it. Yeah, so you could go 9. So you could bait him and try and get him up higher, or
Yeah, I know,
come on,
but
man,
if he baits me
make it
back,
interesting.
then I'll be struggling.
You gotta make it interesting.
I'm struggling with okay, 10.
11.
Maybe you only get 30 seconds as well.
I'm gonna say just name the 11. Name them.
Yes,
You've got
prove
30
it then.
seconds. Yeah, prove it.
Okay, tell him when it starts.
Ready, go.
Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Royce, Havertz, Saka, Nketiah,
Ooh.
Jesus.
Oh, yep. That was in 15 seconds. Nice.
You need to make it more difficult for him. Okay. This is going to get harder as we go on.
I know.
We are going to go in Howard's favour now. 1-0 to Rossi. And we are going to go, how many Villa players can you name?
You should be able to name one of them, Howard.
I should do.
Yeah.
Probably
The
won't
whole
though.
25-man squad.
I'm gonna. Well, you start, Ross.
I'm going to say 8.
I'm gonna say 12.
It's a big jump.
13.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 14.
Prove it.
Cool. Okay.
Do I have to time
So
myself?
you have to time yourself. You got to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
And I'll count them up. 14, yeah? 30 seconds, 14 players.
I'm going to start it now. Watkins, Duran,
Yep.
McGinn,
Yep.
Diaby, Bailey, Ramsey, Douglas Luiz, Mings, Buendia, Martinez,
Okay.
Pau Torres, Luca Dean, Cash, Bertrand Traore.
Yeah.
14.
14.
14.
All right. That's
14.
less than. I got 25, 26, 27, so that's fine. Awesome.
Nice.
That's within the 30 seconds.
Nice, well done. So that was what, 24 seconds?
I could name the 13 as well, you know.
Yeah, I think you could have. I literally, when I was thinking, oh yeah, there's some injured ones as well, but there's still part of the squad. Anyway,
you got to 5 and then you start to flow from there. I like it. Right, we'll go Liverpool. How many Liverpool players do you think you could name? 30 seconds. So how good you on that one?
It was you, Howard, first.
Okay.
Obviously...
I'm gonna go for. I might as well go for the 11 then.
I'm gonna go for 15.
Could I name 16? Oh, that's baited me because I wouldn't be able. If you said prove it on 16, I don't think I'll be able to do it. So
these poker games.
I know, man. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say prove it.
15. Say 15.
Yeah.
That's literally a player every 2 seconds.
No.
Alisson, Kelleher, Adrian, Gomez, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Kanate, Kwanzaa, Robertson, Tsimikas, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Harvey Elliott, Endo, Salah, Nunes.
Yeah. You've gone it. You smashed it. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I did.
There's the way you pronounce some of the names as well. I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to.
I like how you started with the 3 goalkeepers first, just to get them in there. So, okay, give me the boost, and I'll boss my way through it. All right, so let's try and make it a little bit more difficult. So, Champions League winners.
Out.
Ooh, that's higher than I thought, you know. How
How
many?
many?
Prove it.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
on the eight. On the eight.
Okay.
Only because I don't think I'll be able to do it anymore because
Champions League winners, yeah?
I've got blank.
Champions League winners. Okay, go. So Porto, Real
Mhm.
Madrid, Man City, Man U, Chelsea,
Five.
Barcelona,
Yep.
and oh my God,
I've only got you on 6 at the minute.
why did I say 8? I thought I had 8 in my head. Did I say Chelsea?
You did.
Time's gone. 30 seconds have gone.
You could have had.
Munich.
Why did I say
Yeah.
no? I thought I said them.
You could have had AC Milan and Inter Milan.
Oh.
So Rossi takes that one. So that's
As soon
what,
as I said the
3-2?
names, I thought I must have said them all. I didn't. I just panicked.
3-2 or 3-1?
It gets to you sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Especially when
Does.
I'm watching the timer go, I'm like,
Okay, let's just think of another one to do. I was going to do Europa League winners, and I thought, Jesus Christ, imagine trying to do that. 1, Seville.
Sevilla. Yeah, Sevilla.
Just want every single one. Okay. How many midfielders do you think you can name? No, defenders. Let's go defenders, because midfielders you could
We
say.
should do goalkeepers.
Ooh, actually, good. Okay, how many goalkeepers can you name in the Premier League?
10.
Oh.
This will be our last one.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So I'm going to say prove it. I wouldn't be able to name 10.
10's low, you know.
It is low, but I
think 10's
my
easy for him.
My head's gone. I don't think I know any of the. I do know them when I hear them, but I just don't know them off the top of my head. Ready, go.
Ramsdale, Raya, Allison, Kelleher, Adrian, Edison, Onana, Pope, Pickford, and Fleckham.
Fleckham. 16 on Fleckham.
That was too easy. I could have actually
Gotta say.
done that in hindsight. I also thought of the one per team, and I thought 10 teams. Do I know them? But then obviously, if you name 3 from one club, not all there. Yeah, that's good times. Wouldn't have got it.
All right, we'll leave that one there for now. Rossi blew you out the water.
2-0 on mini games.
Stupid mini games, man.
He is. Howard enjoying this? Isn't enjoying it at all.
Keep a tally of the mini games.
Yeah, I will do actually.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easy to do because it's 0 to do. It's just going to keep going up and up and up. I'm just going to do a Villa themed one for next one. Just give me an opportunity. Give me one on the board, lad. Okay, so to end our podcast today, we are going to do the predictions. So I'm going to do mine on the fly because I have not prepared for it at all. So, who would like to go first? Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Go on then, Harry. You tell me the matches.
Liverpool, Everton.
Liverpool.
Okay. Bournemouth, Wolves.
Draw.
Brentford, Burnley.
Brentford.
Man City, Brighton.
Draw.
Newcastle, Crystal. No, Newcastle, Crystal Palace.
Draw.
Nottingham Forest, Luton.
Forest.
Chelsea, Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Sheffield United, Manchester United.
Draw.
Aston Villa, West Ham.
Villa.
And Tottenham, Fulham.
Tottenham.
Ooh. Interesting picks there.
Yeah, there is. Do you want to go next, Rossi? Also,
Yeah, can do.
Lewis, sorry. What were you going to say, Lewis?
I was going to say the Man City one's probably the dumb one because Rodri's back, but they're still on a bad thing. So maybe. And Brighton are a good team.
Maybe they are good. Yeah, Rossi, gone.
So Liverpool, Everton, I've gone with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth, Wolves, I've gone with a draw.
Okay.
Brentford, Burnley, I've gone with Brentford.
Okay.
Man City, Brighton, I've gone with Man City. Newcastle, Palace, I've gone with Newcastle.
Yeah.
Forest, Luton, I've gone with Forest.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Arsenal, I've gone with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, Man United, I've gone with Man United.
Okay.
Villa, West Ham, I've gone with a draw.
Yeah.
Spurs, Fulham, I've gone with Spurs.
Okay. So I've gone with Liverpool, Everton. I've gone for Liverpool. Bournemouth, Wolves. I've gone for Bournemouth.
Ooh.
Brentford, Burnley. I've gone for Burnley. Man City, Brighton. I've gone for a draw. Newcastle, Crystal Palace. I've gone for Newcastle win. Nottingham Forest, Luton. I've gone for a draw. Chelsea, Arsenal. I've gone for a Chelsea win.
Is it Chelsea Arsenal? Is it at Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say Chelsea win?
Yeah.
Enough. You can do what?
And end the show. Sheffield United, Manchester United have gone for a draw. Villa, West Ham have gone for a home win. Villa, and then Tottenham, Fulham have gone for a home win with Tottenham as well. So we've only got.
For me, the most interesting one out of yours, Howard, is the Bournemouth one because Bournemouth have not won a game this season.
I know.
Doesn't look good, you know, though. There's some guys that look really good.
They haven't looked that bad. I don't know. I just
Why get over the finish line, can they?
Well, I'm kind of part of me sometimes is a bit of a bit of a romantic in terms of I want a nice tight knit league, so it's really competitive. Don't want people to drop away too much, so I kind of naturally want to see like the Lutons.
Yeah, but this is not a wants list. This is a prediction list.
It is. I predict that to happen, and I'm winning. I'm winning the prediction, so you can't say shh. So
it's got you there. It's got you know what I mean.
It's early days, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's true.
It is very early days. But no, there's going to be some great games, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a pretty good weekend of football, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a shame the Villa West Ham games on the Sunday because, as I told you before, Sunday games always seem to end in draws. So I don't want a draw.
I think that'll be a good game. The reason why I put a draw, actually, I didn't think of the Sunday game being a draw. I just think Villa won't play West Ham, but I just think they'll just be so tight at the back, West Ham, so defensive. I think you'll just struggle to break through them.
Yeah, it will be. They're playing really, really well, and as you said, their strengths are surprising actually because they know what they're going to do. They're going to get about 30% possession, but when they get possession, it's used well, and they get they get that kind of counter attack on. So be a tough game. I don't really see many surprises, to be fair, but again, this is the Premier League, so we'll wait and see.
That's the beauty of football.
The Liverpool Everton one will be interesting because derbies, man,
they're different, isn't it?
Yeah,
it don't matter about the quality of football. Derby day is just forget about the league, forget about positions. You're just on that pitch, going hammer and toe against each other.
There's 3 of them actually: Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Fulham. 3 derbies.
Yeah, I'm really looking to the Chelsea Arsenal because it's always scrappy. I love the scrappy games.
We'll beat them. I'm not worried about that game. I just thought because I'm actually going to see you on Sunday, Anna, I think that me and you could do short together.
That is a very good idea.
No high joke.
You just...
Yes. We're going to have to cut
I'll pixelate them out.
Yeah, for anyone who is wondering what that was, we're not going to show you. You cut that as well. Lost control. Okay, we are going to end it there because it's getting too real. It's turned into a different kind of podcast. So it is a goodbye from me, Howard.
Bye bye. See you later.
Rossi.
Goodbye from me.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.